Hi, guys, family. Welcome again. Have a wonderful day. I hope you had a wonderful day, and I hope the excitement is real given that there is a new pop up at the back office. I know there was one, and it's just been edited, and some new sweet information has been added. I hope you have seen that. If not, then make sure you have a look. The back office looks really good, and it gets me even more excited. And so today we are discussing the three V's of unpassive as crafted by none else but Mr. Rob Gorman from the Roblin Show. And of course, we definitely want to add a bonus V to it because the three as of Rob are vision, value, and victory. And of course, we have a bonus V there, which is value, because you cannot discuss on passive. You talk about the V's and you leave out value. So, team, welcome. Victorious team, welcome and have a wonderful evening. Hello, Andy.
Hello, everyone. Yes, victory, value, excellent opportunities. Good to discuss today. So far away.
Sure. Hello, Anita.
Good evening, everyone. Really good to be here. Really great topic tonight. Definitely for the value. We all know that on passive has massive value, so it's going to be a great discussion.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So, guys, thank you as you join. It's such an exciting moment that we all are in. The excitement gets more and more and more every day as we get the sweet news at the back office. So, join in this discussion if you can, please, and let's hear what you have to say about the V's of unpassive. See who is here, Marty. Thank you for joining, Marty. So, Collins. Which of the V's would you like to start with? I think let's give people choice so that people speak freely. So we have vision, we have value, we have victory, and of course the bonus value. Oh, go, just go. You need to unmute yourself, please.
That's a good one. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited and fired up to be here. I'm always fired up. From the day I joined On Passive, I've always been fired up. Don't know why, but again, there is something right in my DNA, the spirit, which always tells me there is something valuable coming up. And with the value, we will all be victorious. So let me look at the value, because the value of unpassive is what makes unpassive to be unpassive. Without value, there is no unpassive. We're talking about value of everything. The quality of, let's start from our CEO. Is someone with high integrity and value. And he turned up to do what? To build the most valuable company, and what? The products as well. Look at all the products. They are also high value. There is no way in unpassive you can miss it when you look at the quality and the value of everything we have. Is it O Connect you want to talk about? Is it O Mail you want to talk about? Is it O Trim you want to talk about? There is always add-on, something that will attract, customers to take a look. You only need to sniff it, just as Bro Oliver said, sniff it, and you'll find something. Honestly, we can go on and on, but our Sister Comfort, I'll just take my breath and said, there is something in unpassive which everyone need to take a look. Whether we like it or not, it is vibrating, and there is an earthquake, tremor happening, which is the value of unpassive. Unpassive will speak for itself. We don't have to be advocate of unpassive because it is already speaking. So I will leave it as a comfort.
All right, sure. Thank you. So Andy, if you can cue in and maybe you want to add something about value or go from whatever, we've got a series of V's to deal with today. So it's yours.
Well, I want to say from a potential business perspective, because this business model that we have with OnPassive is never been seen before. It's an opportunity that every single person has. Now, it was designed specifically to be able to help the 97% of those that try and work online to actually succeed instead of fail, and pay the gurus for giving you rubbish, which they tend to do. So we have a victory in the fact that we have a CEO who's created a business model second to none. an opportunity for every single person to be able to make money from a system that is designed not just for the corporate entity, but for the people within the company. So, we've also got a victory from the products perspective, because as Collins mentioned, we've got products that have far more features. They're far superior to what's available currently in the marketplace. They're all AI induced. Let me give you an example. I spoke to someone the other day who was doing a webinar. They had 3,000 odd people on the call. They have 290,000 people that they would love to be on the call. The problem is that you have a language barrier. You have a system whereby a lot of these people are in Africa, where the bandwidth isn't particularly good. So we have a product called OConnect that will not only the AI, the artificial intelligence will send them bandwidth if it's needed. The system automatically translates into 57 different languages, and it's crystal clear, as we well know, because we've been able to be on an OConnect with over 80,000 people on the call. So this is a victory. And any company out there that does an event, or any company out there that does a video conference with its staff, its customers, they need to take a closer look at what we can provide at a far lower cost than the likes of Zoom, that maxes out at 20,000 people and charges $8,000 for the privilege, but doesn't let people stay on the call. Once you've got more than 16,000 people, you start to lose, people fall off because their bandwidth is no good. So yeah, for me, that's a massive victory. Back to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Andy. Let's hear from our sister Anita.
Hi everyone. Yeah, wow. So look, let's start with value, and I'm going to come from a little different perspective here. So the value that we have had so far up to now as founders, okay, and that value, we paid $97, and I know that Ash speaks quite a lot about the value that we've already had, and that's before we've even had a product to sell. And I know for many people here, we are learning new skills, we're making new friends, and I can honestly say that I had my $97 worth a very long time ago, because there's lots of things that you're learning all the time, and even just being on these webinars, people are having new skills coming forward and being able to speak out to thousands of people, and that in itself is what some people have to realize is been there for them all this time, and there's an awful lot you can get out of this, and Ash wants us to basically build on our skills if we can, like this. So for me, I would say that we've had massive value for our money. Okay. I mean, of course, the products are all, we're going to get value for money there, but I just wanted to come from that perspective. And on that, I want to talk about victory. Ash, every time that he says about a new top, that's another victory for him. It's another victory, and it's something else he can tick off. And then he creates a new top, and that's another victory. But let's think about as well personal victories are things like, we all know that there's been lots of naysayers out there, and we've all had them. And for a personal victory is when we can turn and say, we did it. We really did it. We got there. We said we would, and we have. And I don't mean with that attitude of I told you so, but how brilliant is it that when we can go back to those people and say, we did it, we got there, we can help you now. We can help all those naysayers. So let's just remember that they are our future customers and resellers, but as for vision, well, look, Ash came along, one man with a vision, and he has far, far, far exceeded probably anything he even visualized. People shared his vision which is why we're here. But I bet you absolutely none of us ever imagined anything this big. And even Ash has said before now, he himself, can't believe it's where it is, really. So, he had a man with a vision. That man basically is bringing his vision to life. And every time he achieves something else, it's another victory. And what he's bringing to everybody, even before there's even a product to sell, is value, just in, like I say, the friendship. So that's how I see those three things.
Yeah, really. Thank you, guys. I think I'd like to chip in here too because the excitement is real. Looking how far we've gone, I don't want to go back to the fact that we've met a lot of people, we've learned a lot, and so on. But it all started like a joke, maybe 4.5 years ago, depending when you joined. 3 years ago for me, almost 4 years, and so on. But then here we are, smiling from molar to molar because we are ending up victorious. Of course, how else do you define victory? About value, I think everybody has a little thing to say because let's take ourselves back to ONET. Those two things there, just the blog and then the podcast. That is just it drove me crazy when I saw it. I said, "Is this not podcast?" That's something I've wanted to do like for ages. I thought that how do I get it, setting it up, stuff like that, always complicated, but they have made it all for you and kept it there. You just need to click and get going. That is value, and that's victory, because the victory of that comes out of your patience and the vision that you had and trusted the system, trusted the company, the CEO and his team. And here we are. Who doesn't celebrate all of these V's? Let us know. So Collins, I want us to break this down a tiny bit more so that people get more about value and see how we came up victorious and see how we all were visionaries, right? I know, Collins, it's been your thing. You say how much value that OnPassive brings like to business. So if you can elaborate a bit about how much value would business people get from OnPassive?
Yes, that comfort. That's really I've been talking about value always, and people don't. Sometimes when people look at it and said, maybe Collins, you are crazy. You are really crazy. We are talking about apples, and you always talk about value because the vision gave rise to value. And before I even go to the value, there is a saying that if you refuse to follow a man who has the vision, and you follow those with television, you will sit one day on that television and see the man, watching the man, the vision, the man with the visionary speaking to you. And that is the thing. A lot of people refuse to see the vision that gives rise to the value. Because value comes from your mindset. And when Mr. Ash Mufarah always talk about value, I think Madi Digamo said it last time. He said, people didn't know the value is money. Mr. Mufarah said, I will provide value, so much value that you can't resist. Now let us look at our product. We're talking about product with so much value. ONET is more than what you can think of. Like Sister Comfort, you said today, business people will come, they will advertise using ONET, a clean way of doing business using ONET. We're talking about podcasting, which you can say, we know that you cannot get it for free. Then Mr. Mufarah put everything, bundle it and give it for free, drag and drop. It's just so easy. Last time with Dr. B. William, when he was saying about how difficult it is even to create a podcast using different tools, but look at the way it is in OnPassive. Drag and drop where anybody, anywhere can use it, even dummies can use it. Now look at what is coming. OTrim. OTrim is more than what you can. It's not just a normal trim URL. We're talking about heat maps. You can see the number of clicks. Those who are liking your website, businesses will die for it. They will take it, trim it, and then look at it and say, oh my God, look at where my customers are coming from. Why should I waste my time, concentrating here, spending money where I'm not getting anything? Sometimes people look at it, think about, say, this company coming using OTrim and then target where their customers are and then concentrate with their marketing campaign on where the customers are coming. That is a game changer in the market. Not only this, think about any other company. Sometimes people think like, oh, it's only for marketing to know. Every company in this world, be it small, large, they have marketing department. because if you build something, you cannot sell it, it's worthless. So we have the tool that will market for you. You can sit in your house and market everything for you. You know, think about mail. It's just crazy. You are talking about mail analytics. Where have you seen it? It analyzes your mail from the time you started writing an email, from each folder. You know, from folders to folder, it gives you an overview of your mailing, you know, your mailing activities. Where will you get it? Talk about log folder. You know, you follow ups, everything. It's just so crazy. It's more than mailing system. That's so much value. That's why I said, I will give you so much value that you cannot resist. We're talking about even products that we don't even want to mention because it's not yet in product. Look at OConnect coming. Those who've even sniffed it, I will sleep on OConnect day in, day out. Understanding it's just so easy to use, not difficult like what we have out there. It will blow the market because the value is so much. And that's why I would say those who refuse to follow the visionaries, ready to sit on your television and watch Mr. Ash Mufara division. Thank you, Mr. Comfort.
Wow, I think I like that one. So thank you. So Andy, I know from the sales perspective, you have said a lot of things too. If you can go back to how our product, any of them of your choice, would help maybe in saving time or so, how does it help in your sales industry? How would it have changed something if you had it from the onset of your profession till now?
There are, I mean, we have a suite of products, and we are about to launch globally with just a few, and the further products will come out over time. So there are lots of things that will come out over time that help businesses. But as a financial advisor, one in particular that struck me, since we've had COVID and the COVID pandemic, everything is done online. So we don't have to travel to go and see customers anymore. We can do it via video conferencing. Now, typically, if a financial advisor sees 10 customers in a week, 2 will say yes and 2 will say no. It's the other 6 that you could potentially convert if you do the right job. However, if you've invited all 10 to come onto a video conference with them as an initial meeting using OConnect, all 10 of those are potential customers to you. Now, you take that one stage further, and a lot of these companies have what they call orphaned customers. So customers that don't have a representative looking after them at this moment in time. And some companies, some of the larger companies, for instance, have got 20 to 50,000 of these customers that haven't been seen or spoken to in a while. So just using OConnect to get in touch with these people, you would take on thousands and thousands of customers. Now, from a business perspective, particularly the large company that I know that has that number of orphan clients, they would be in a position to not only provide more bonuses for the consultants that work within the firm, but also every single consultant then comes on to use the other scheme, the other products that the company will release, things like Opia, Edit, Odit, and OCreate, etc., to help their business. And OTracker and OTrim are just a small proportion of this. So there's lots of things within the ecosystem that they would be able to use. But more importantly, every single person they speak to is a potential customer. Not, I'm going to do 2 out of 10 here because they're all cold calls. I'm going to do 10 out of 10 because they're going to see the ecosystem that has been created by OnPassive and go, I want these products. Because, as Collins mentioned, OMail, ONet, etc., these are so different to what's available in the marketplace today that people were just going to use them. You know, we have antiquated systems with emails. I'm not going to mention those, but when you've got things like speech to text and text to speech and video emails, this is value. This is vision of a CEO that says, do you know what? We want to be able to provide the next level not what's available in the market today, but the next level, above the next level. So these guys have all got to play catch up. And the thing is, they're 3 years behind. So by the time they do catch up, we're still 3 years ahead. So that's vision as well. So that is, for me, that's phenomenal.
Thank you so much. That is, guys, if you find some value in the powerful information that our team is giving us here, why not go ahead and click on the subscription button if you haven't yet? But though, if you have, we say thank you. Go ahead and share, because this is value, what people normally do pay to get. We are happy sharing it with us together. So Anita, I know that you've been in the sales industry. We discuss a lot, and I know that you have a lot of conversations with people who work hard to talk to people so that they can buy the products that they sell, or so that they can become part of them and do what they do in order that they can make money. How is OnPassive going to make things different and much better for these type of people?
Okay, so touching back on value and business, let's look first of all as well at free products. Okay, now I've had people ask me, founders that have asked me, how are these free products really giving us value? How are they going to help? Now, number one, okay, please do not underestimate the value of free products, because they are like your golden carrot, and businesses always like to have a carrot to dangle, and to lead people to their paid for products. Everybody has something that leads them to a more expensive product or whatever, something free. So what people have to remember is that is their way of getting people into the ecosystem to then view paid for products. It's everybody likes something free, don't they? So that's the thing here, is to remember that those free products are of such high value, really. And Ash is very clever. I always say this. He's very clever in how he does everything. He wants us to familiarize ourselves with those free products. Please don't underestimate them. Get in there, get in that ecosystem, start playing with them, start understanding them. They are your golden carrots. They are what you are going to use to bring people in to spend money and make you money. Okay, so that's what I want people to do, is really, really realize the value of those free products.
All right, thank you. Yeah, of course, guys. Before we go ahead, I would like to use this opportunity again to remind you, fellow founders, if you are watching us here and you are in the UK and Ireland, we are reminding you that we have an event coming up in less than 4 weeks now in Manchester, OPI, UK and Ireland, and we are reminding you that the tickets, there's still a few tickets left. Get people on board. Come, let's have fun and meet and chat and have fun and celebrate our victory as we are starting to celebrate this evening. And of course, bring somebody new so that we can give them value. And so they join in us and say, oh my God, how did I miss out on this? And of course, the family gets bigger and bigger. Contact us, and if we can, Peter Rogers, kindly help us if you are still in the house, and drop the link in the comment section so that if anybody wants to get a ticket, let them get that link. Or if you need help, contact any of us, and of course, we'll help you do everything possible to get you to Manchester, 22nd of April. So I think, of course, value. I just want to talk because I'm a family person and I'm so busy with family stuff and so on. From the family perspective, the value that OnPassive has to offer is, you cannot measure it, right? I just want to go back again to All Connect. There's a lot of stuff that you are going to do. We live here, some of us, you don't live at home. Sometimes you miss family and stuff like that, So my children have started learning my language. We can program that every weekend you meet on All Connect and speak our language with granddad back home, with my father. So that distance is no longer a breach, because they draw stuff on the screen. Granddad draws from home, the other cousin draws from the United States, the other one draws from South Africa, and then they download. It's just fun. You can spend it the whole day. You can spend a weekend just doing that. There's just a lot you can get from this business. There is value, there's joy, there's happiness, and so that's how we come out victorious. So Collins, of course, we can't talk about value and all of these things without mentioning security. I know that if you start that, Andy definitely will hit on it, and why not Anita? So let's look at security as one of the values that we get from OnPassive.
Yeah, so security is one of the priority of OnPassive, because they want to make sure your data are secured, because data is money. How is it secure? We know everything is encrypted, so if you look at from where you come, for even like we are talking about OConnect, let's take for instance OConnect. Do you think people will be able to jump into any meetings? It will be difficult. You must identify who you are, and then you can jump into that meeting. And sometimes people think like, okay, you can come in, but remember, we are coming with tools, OTracker, and even if it happens that you jump into a meeting, they can block you from the source, which people will get to know that OnPassive mean business. Everything in OnPassive is secured, because they always think about security is the first thing. How do you secure the data? How do you make sure people are safe? Like Andy will talk about bullying and all of those things. How do you make sure people come and they are not bullied? But again, it is coming, and it is already there when AI will kick in, because normally we've not seen the power of AI when it kicks in. But those who are coming, I will assure you that you will be safe. It will be one of the most safest place you will find yourself in. We will not compare it with any other thing that is in the market, but it will be the safest place, because you can easily pinpoint, and no matter what, you cannot mess up when it comes to OnPassive. So for security, AI security is there, the code is secured and everything, and they know who you are. No matter how you can think that, oh, I'm in OnPassive now, you can't get me. My friend, you are making big mistakes, because they can pinpoint your address, your location. This is what I'm saying. You can pinpoint where you are staying. You cannot hide it. If they have not get you, it's because they are sitting quiet. But they can pinpoint right where you are staying, right to your doorstep. So that's why you cannot mess up with OnPassive. Mr. Comfort, I will leave it there.
All right. Let's see whether Andy has something to say from another angle as far as security is concerned.
I love the fact that, particularly with things like ONET, our social media platform, we know that the other social media platform that people use at the moment, that they have no choice over, because there is or has been nothing else. We know that the value of that company is based solely upon the data that it sells. Now, we don't need that. We don't need the revenue from that, because we have other things. So we will never sell data. That means that every photograph you place and every post you place on ONET is yours. No one else's. It's yours. Unlike the other one, where every photo you place or every post you put up is now becomes the property of somebody else, or they can use it in other ways. Now, for me, that's extremely important. I don't want my data being sold, but give you an example. And I'll be honest, at the time, I thought this was quite amusing, but one of a guy in the UK was going to New York for the weekend. So he put a post in Facebook to say, I'm going to burn up New York for the weekend, as a UK phrase to say, do you know what? I'm going to go and have some fun. I'm really going to enjoy myself while I'm out there, and I'm going to go get drunk. Well, what actually happened was he, got off the plane and was immediately escorted and interviewed for 48 hours, then put back on a plane straight to the UK, because all of the data is collected and sent out to those institutions, should we say, that shouldn't necessarily need that. So it was totally misconstrued, but at the end of the day, quite frankly, it serves him right. But we don't have that problem. We're not into that market. We're not selling data. We don't need to sell the data. everything we have is held on our own servers, and with what's coming with the next data center that we have, which will be massive, you know, we'll be able to host the entire internet if we so desire. So you can have your bit if you like. You go do your bit somewhere else. We're going to be okay, and we're going to do our bit. Thanks very much.
We will own it indeed. So, Anita, do you still have something to say from your own angle, please?
Yeah, I'm going to come from completely a different perspective with the word security. I'm talking about security, how we are secure in this business. We have security in this business. And Ash has provided for us to all feel secure and to know that we are in good hands, you know, safe hands. And I personally have never really felt so safe and secure in any business or job. And the more that we see, the more that he provides, you know, for us, the more you just sit there and go, wow, I can't believe little me is here. I cannot believe I've had this opportunity. I just thank God I had the sense to grab it with both hands. You know, it's a shame for some people who didn't, but I'm glad I did. I'm that kind of person anyway. But I knew from the minute I heard Ash's voice on those videos, this man, you know, he's really worth putting your trust into. So that for me is what I want to say about security, is I've never felt so secure as what Ash has brought to us.
I'm so happy that you brought this, because I feel exactly the same, but I didn't know I could express it just as brilliant as you have. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. So guys, let's end on this note. I know you know I like the final rounds, Andy. So it's not new. So you know, business language to me, I think I may be wrong. It's something that we need it almost like the air we breathe, because if you can't speak, then you can't communicate. So tell us how OnPassive is going to facilitate communication between somebody, a Chinese who doesn't understand French, and a French who doesn't understand China, but then they communicate spontaneously. Andy, would you like to go first, please?
Sure. One of the unique features of OConnect is a translator in 57 odd languages. So, and that will expand over time as well. But if you're listening, or you want to be on an event, you want to come on an event and hear what's going on. As I said, I was on one the other night, and interestingly enough, the guy spoke in Spanish, then in Italian, and in English. And he said, look, I have to apologize because I don't speak Greek. And I'm sitting behind the camera, kind of chuckling a little bit, because, you know, we've got a system that is HD quality. Everyone could be on the call, and they have 290,000 people in the group, but you couldn't get them all on. There's no way you could do that. And Zoom charges a ridiculous figure anyway. So all of a sudden you've got a situation where we've got a product. Hello, we've got something that's going to help you. And by the way, it will automatically translate for you. So you can just say it in English and they can hear it in their language. So don't worry about it. So for me, I just found it most amusing. And the hats off to the tech team for working so hard to be able to create something that there isn't anything like it in the market. And believe me when I tell you that every single person that currently uses a video conferencing tool will have to take a look at OConnect and go, why am I using this one when I can use that one? This is far more value for money. So that's my take. Thanks, Comfort.
Thank you, Andy. Anita, do you have some other thing to say about that too, please?
Yeah, I mean, about the translator, I mean, I just think to myself, watch out, translators, because, you know, this is going to be, you know, like even something like at a police station, you know, when they can't get hold of a translator, it's going to be so easy for them just to use, you know, our translator, isn't it? So there's going to be lots of other jobs where that's going to come in really, really handy. But certainly wherever they need a translator, it's going to work, isn't it? So that's my contribution on that one. And I'm sure there's lots of jobs out there where there's translators needed.
Okay, thank you. So Collins, you have the last go, please.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's really true. You know, not only OConnect, everything within OnPassive is equally translated. Just imagine you think about OMail, and sometimes, say, I've seen a scenario where you want to write something to a client, but the client doesn't speak English or doesn't speak French or something like that. And you're thinking like, oh my God, should I go to Google Translator and write everything just to look at the Google word so you can send the letter? You're writing a correspondent. Now, you can only write into the language that you really understand best, you are fluent with, and then allow the rest. When the person receives it, what you will do is just click language translation and everything will just be translated to that language. And there you go. You don't need to worry about yourself. OnPassive just done everything for everyone. So feel free to use your language. Bear in mind that the person who is receiving it can still change it and then read it in his or her own language. Perfect. You know, it is brilliant, honestly. So hassle-free when it comes to OnPassive.
Wow, thank you, Tim. I think it's been a good time that we've had here together, guys. We can agree, everybody who's here now, we can agree that Mr. Ash Mufareh is a great visionary. He saw it, and we followed the vision, we believed in it, and here we are with value in our hands, celebrating victory. So whoever is watching this, you don't know what we are talking about. Don't bother, don't beat yourself. Find the link or talk to me, talk to any of these people you see on the screen. How do I find myself in Manchester on the 22nd of April, 2023? You will come back amazed. You will come back victorious. You will come back with value in your hands. Your life is going to be transformed forever. So talk to us, founders. If you don't have a ticket yet and you are in the UK and Manchester and Ireland, you are making a great mistake because people are coming from abroad. And if you are in mainland Europe and you don't have a ticket as well, you are making a mistake because you can't let people leave from Papua New Guinea, Africa, and the United States of America to come run this event for you. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, panel. See you soon. Bye.